Good morning. We decided we wanted to do this message together as a pastoral team, as a way to honor Donna, and as well to show our togetherness in this and in going forward as a congregation. Now, you may hear this refrain on social media often, at least I have frequently. It goes, "We listen and we don't judge." I appreciate this because I think it's really important that we take time to listen to people and to not move to condemnation for whatever they say, whatever they are maybe confessing, as we are practicing confession here this time in Lent. But I think we need to maybe separate that out, because not all judgment is bad. Typically, as Mennonites, the good form of judgment that we like to use, we call discernment. We look deeper into what's going on, seeing what's going on beneath the surface, asking questions, helping others discern between good choices and bad, and of course, moving forward with grace. I've only had about 3 years to work with Donna, but in that time, I have experienced her as someone who listens well, judges or discerns without condemnation, and offers great discernment and wisdom. I'm sure you can relate. In fact, I think back to a time we were traveling in the car, just her and I. Can't remember where we were going or where we were coming from. But I was pretty new as a pastor in this congregation, and Donna shared with me some of her wisdom about Silverwood. Now, don't worry, she didn't tell me all of your secrets, just a few. Every congregation has its own personality, its own way of being, and sometimes it can be a little intimidating coming into a new place, trying to get to know new people, as well as getting to know the congregation as a whole. But with great care and affection, Donna shared about Silverwood and helped me to get to know you better in a really meaningful way. Because I think Donna, as a good leader, as good leaders do, listens well and chooses to respond carefully. Now, speaking of listening, do you remember what the woman in the story said? Anybody? Anybody? It's good that you were silent, because, except for the no, which is fine. Honesty is the best policy because we listen and we don't judge. But she actually didn't say anything. She just showed up and started doing. I think sometimes we get distracted by this description of her, that she's a person of the city and a sinner. We want the gossip. We want somebody to spill the tea. And we miss out on what's really going on here. It's us that in this situation need to hold back our condemnation and to listen and to see what's going on in her response to Jesus. The woman has already received all that she needed. She has received the grace which Jesus has provided, and that has given her the courage to defy social etiquette in her newfound awareness and her newfound wholeness. It's from this place of wisdom that she acts with grace towards Jesus. And I think it's the same kind of wisdom in which Donna ministered in this congregation and in many before. I think we too need to resist this urge and hold back our condemnation and instead respond with a kind of lavish generosity that comes as we do something beautiful and bold, like this woman did, and like Donna has done with us here at Silverwood. But while the other guests were upset with her at the dinner party, we see in the story that Jesus responds to her with love.
So at the end of the scripture today, we see how Jesus chooses to respond to the acts of love that the woman has shown him. He responds much differently than those around him at the party. Those in attendance cannot believe what they're seeing. First, they are more than likely uncomfortable with what the woman is doing. She is not just misty-eyed with just a few tears in her eyes. She is crying hard enough that her tears are spilling from her eyes so that she is able to wash Jesus' feet with them. One commentary that I read said that she is more than likely sobbing. Think about how you feel when someone is showing great emotion like that. It can be very uncomfortable for the people that are around them, and we don't necessarily know how to react. Do we look away? Do we offer words of assurance to her? Do we offer a hug? Or do we ask the person to leave the room? There are several responses in that room, and most of them were not reassuring or welcoming of her emotions. But not only was she sobbing loudly, she also was using expensive oil to anoint Jesus' feet. And this is not something that someone who is called a sinner should be doing. She's trying the best way she knows how to show Jesus how much she loves him, even if it is not what is considered socially acceptable. And those in attendance at the party are grumbling, and they're making a fuss. They want her to know that this is not okay. Then we turn to Jesus. He responds differently. Jesus sees her. Jesus stands beside her. Jesus understands her. And Jesus accepts her gift and offers her grace. When we are acting out of love, isn't it our hope that the people see our actions as love? And this is what the Jesus did for the woman. So over my years of pastoral ministry, this is something I have had to learn to do. See people like Jesus would see them. The way that I naturally move through the world is to be a little bit skeptical and question the intentions of what people are doing. I often tell the kids that I'm working with here at church that we have to put on our Jesus glasses. And I think I tell them this often for not only them, but also for myself. When we're looking through these glasses that have a Jesus lens, we will see things differently. Instead of getting upset, we'll seek to find the reason and understand the person and why they are doing what they're doing. And this is the way that I believe that Donna moves through this world. I did not know Donna early in her ministry years, but I have been gifted 8 years at Silverwood with her. And I believe that the natural way she sees the world is through the lens, just like Jesus. Now, have there been times I've seen her get mad? Yes, Donna can even get mad. Or that she feels like the world is hurtful. Yes, I've seen those. But more often than not, she is able to see in a way that sees people and what their true intentions are. She stands beside people and truly understands them. And she often offers them much, much grace. I believe that she doesn't have to worry about putting on her Jesus glasses every day. She wakes up with them and extends the love and grace to others just as Jesus does. It has been a gift to be on a team with her and learn from her how to see the world in this way. She has helped me to learn how to offer the grace, the love, and healing that Jesus offers. And I am truly grateful for this. At the end of the scripture, we see the gift that Jesus offers to the woman. When Jesus responds in a loving, gracious way, it allows her to leave the encounter with Jesus transformed and healed. She now knows that she is loved and she can choose to live the life Jesus has offered her through the transformation and healing. When we choose to wear our Jesus glasses, we can help to offer love and healing to others also as they are truly transformed by Jesus.
It feels appropriate on this day, Donna's last day of pastoral ministry among us, to talk about generosity and transformation and healing. We have a vision statement out in our foyer on that big board that says that we are becoming a gathering place for the hurting, where healing and growth are unleashed. And we're in the middle of a year-long theme right now, where we say hurting, healing, and growing. And Donna, I think these concepts relate to you as well. Just this week, I heard you retell a story of how you got to Silverwood 8.5 years ago. And in your own words, you came as a wounded pastor. Fresh off the pain and conflict of deep damage and division as you walked with a hurting conference. And that's how you arrived among us, but you have also said many times that that's not how you're leaving us. Today you leave pastoral ministry healed. The time pastoring among us has transformed your wounds into healing. And I've come to believe that when we're wounded, we're always left with a few choices. The wounds can make us brittle and dried up and bitter, or the wounds can be healed. And I think in doing that, the healing has a ripple effect out to healing others. And Donna, I think that's what you've done here. You've not only healed your own wounds, but you have provided spaces for healing for others. There are a countless number of families you've walked beside as they've experienced aging and illness, heartache, and even death. You offered time, words, silence, care, presence, and love into those lives and into those situations. Thank you. You continued and completed all of your training to be a Gestalt pastoral care counselor, offering this gift to individuals and leading opening to grace circles to many. Gestalt pastoral care rests on the belief that God's grace is constantly at work in each person, and I experienced this personally when Donna led the pastors and staff through a GPC at a retreat one year when we were together. And to this day, I still have a prayer shawl on my office chair and a small plaque on my desk, there it is, that reminds me from that GPC experience, that reminds me that I am worthy, that even I deserve a pass sometimes, and that I can trust in divine love. All essentials for my own journey of healing. And I know I'm only a drop in the bucket of people who could tell similar stories. So thank you. Silverwood has been a soft landing space for many people who come looking for something a little different. Maybe they're carrying wounds from past religious experiences or church settings. And Donna, I believe your words, both personally and from the pulpit, have created a safety and a sacredness for these individuals, providing them with potentially a new narrative of belovedness and grace. Thank you. The scripture today, both in its bounty of lavish hospitality and generous healing, sums up to me the legacy that your pastoral ministry will leave. Thanks be to God. And so while we feel sadness and grief today in our goodbyes and our well wishes, we also know that the work of God's healing lives on, and it will continue in this time and in this place. We have been a healing community, and we will continue to be a healing community. If anything, it's my prayer that we can perhaps be even more committed to becoming a place of healing as an honor to Donna's years of ministry. Times of transition are challenging, and yet, as I'm learning in my own personal healing journey, that we can trust in divine love to see us through.
Now, Donna, I can see how uncomfortable you might be sitting there. I can feel it from up here. As a fellow 9 on the Enneagram, I might know some things that you are thinking. First, we are not worshiping you. And while you might be a little bit in the spotlight today, Your ministry and what God has done with the amazing person that you are is what we are thanking God for this morning. It's okay, 9. It's okay. We will get through this together. Also, no, we're not saying that you're Jesus, although you do have some Jesus tendencies. Well, you're going to have to buckle up because I get to end our time with the blessing that you are leaving us with. I was recently at a leaders conference, or leaders class I went through last week, and one of the sections of the class was storytelling. And as the other 3 were talking, I kept thinking about this class. The storytelling, we usually think of storytelling as having a beginning, a middle, and an end. But the teacher that was there talked about how to reframe that, to have a normal, an explosion, and a new normal. And I think that's what your time here was. And that new normal is amazing, and I'm so thankful for it. And I get to tell a story. I'm practicing this because I have to go back to leaders, the same leaders thing in 2 weeks. So here we go. I want to tell you a story about when Donna made me whole body cry. Similar to the person that we were talking about in the scripture, I got to experience a whole body cry. It was May of 2023, and Donna needed to take the next step in her GPC journey. Janice mentioned it a little bit earlier. She asked the team if we would participate in a retreat, and I was like, heck yeah, a retreat. The company of some awesome people, good food, a lake house, and time away, I'm in. We have got to do that. And I had heard people had really grown and healed from Donna's GPC sessions, so I was happy to help her grow as a GPC minister. Little did I know the blessing that this retreat would be to me. We all took our turn having a session, and when it was my turn, I knew I was going to cry, because I'm a pretty emotional guy. But I knew I had things to work through as well. My friends, little did I know how much I had to actually work through. I whole body cried. And if you haven't experienced that, you really need to. She's still doing GPC, just so you know. You know when you can't catch your breath, but you really want to apologize to everyone around you for your snot? Or when you don't know whether you're getting dehydrated from crying, from your snot, or from your slobbering mess. That is whole body crying. I was working through some stuff that I didn't even realize would have come to the surface. And when I was done with my turn, you would not believe the relief that I felt in my whole being. It was such an amazing blessing to me. I know that Donna's incredible GPC work has been a blessing to a lot of you as well. And I'm excited that your work is not done. Your passion for it is obvious, and God has blessed you with a great gift. I want to end my time here with a little poem. I wrote it, so sorry. We have all been benefactors of your blessings, and that won't stop today. So, here we go. Give me one of those, please. We'll no longer have Mom at our PT or our Tuesday PT. We called her Mom, sorry. No one to rein us in. Okay, by us, I mean me. We'll no longer have a meter to judge how severe, because when Donna's flipping tables, you'd better watch your rear. We'll no longer have those moments when we look at you, Donna, and wait for the wisdom that we know is soon coming. Wait, let me not focus on what is no longer, but how your blessed presence has made us all stronger. Your heart for the people that others discard, the ones sometimes forgotten and often are scarred. your mouth for the words that bring wisdom and joy, bringing smiles and healing. And to me, sometimes, oy. Your hands for the healing, for solace, for love, for a hug or a high five. Your prayers to God above. Your eyes for seeing the lost and the lonely, also people's potential and where God has them going. See, Donna, you're the woman who said, no, no, no. God saw in you all the places you'd go. And I'm so glad God did. We have been so, so blessed. Not just for the last 8 years, but also the rest. Donna, may you always understand and remember the amazing way that you have touched the lives of so many people throughout all of your ministry. May you reflect as you rest on all of the love, God's love, that you have been throughout your ministry. Well done, Donna. Well done. I invite Eric Martin up here for a blessing from the board.